career at the Miami Dolphins?
Very fortunate to have met some good people in my coaching career, and got a chance to learn from some of the best, and some good alliances with like guys like me and Coach Flores. We worked in the same office for a long time, got to know each other, had some common background stuff. Both being from the Northeast, the tri-state area, but Yale, went to school there, played football there, and just fell in love with the game even more after graduating, and just got into coaching, and then found my calling. So,
What's your major?
sociology. I started off chemical engineering. That didn't go too well. So I had to switch it up. My dad told me, he said, "Listen, if you change from engineering to sociology, just make sure that you're not living here when you graduate." I said, "I think I'll be okay, Dad."
What were you going to do with a
Sociology degree?
chemical engineering?
Oh, if you go back, if you could dig it up, there's film of this now. Senior year in high school, I wanted to get a chemical engineering degree and go into the CIA. That's what I wanted to do. So, and obviously
Does that dream still live somewhere?
no.
inside?
They don't. Way different. But I found out early on when I got to school, chemical engineering wasn't for me, and CIA wasn't going to happen either.
The NFL is about secrets and information as well, so I guess there is some carryover.
I see that. I can see that correlation.
What are your, as a defensive coach, what are your core philosophies?
They felt a lot of the stuff that Coach Flores has talked about. We want guys who are selfless, guys that are willing to work hard. I think when you get into not necessarily the schematics, but just like looking at the player and what we're looking for aside from the character traits, you want guys who play with their hands and that play and are heavy-handed. You want guys to play with good knee bend and good leverage, all right? And you want guys who have good eye discipline. I mean, that's all about, as you know, Coach Flores talked about, trying to get 11 guys to trust each other on the field. You got to get 11 guys to trust and have their eyes in the right place to build that trust. So really, when you look at it, football position, eyes, hands, and feet, that's how I see it in terms of defensive players when I'm evaluating. Heavy-handed, active hands, eyes in the right place, able to, when misdirection comes, are their eyes in the right place still? Are we able to go from one spot to the next and having a progression with that? And then the feet, good base, good leverage, all leads to good football plays, especially when you start to watch the championship plays that take place championship weekend, Super Bowl weekend. You can just watch the sideline copy and really get a feel for that.
Where does heart fit in?
Heart?
Heart.
In terms of the toughness element, to me, I want to have a way to measure the toughness. So to me, you measure the toughness as a defensive player. We're going to talk about it to those guys. Can we stop the run? And can we stop the run when we know they're going to run the ball? All right. Are we contributing to the coverage units on special teams? We can measure those things to determine toughness as opposed to just talking about it. And then the hard part of it, guys who are selfless and put the team first, I mean, that's a big decision for somebody to make. Because by nature, a lot of us, we want to take care of ourselves. But we got to make sure that, we're putting the team first. That's why this game is so beautiful, the lessons that you learn from it. Because I know for me personally, it's helped me in my life to become more selfless and understand to put the team first, put my family first, put my the organization I'm with first. That's so key, and it's been such a good thing as I've grown as a person. Now that I'm 40 years old, it's been really huge in my life.
You just turned 40, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Birthday.
Thank you. And I'm always feeling the effects of it. So.
All right, here's the question people in South Florida want to know: 3-4 or 4-3?
Yes.
Both.
There you go. Multiple. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do whatever Coach Flores wants us to do that week, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to teach the guys the concepts of the defense. Whether what the coverage is, what the rush is, whether we're rushing 3, 4, 5, 6, doesn't matter. And how we deploy those guys in different spots and how the outside looking in, you guys see it, is going to look multiple. I mean, it is going to be multiple. And are we going to be talking in terms of 3-4-4-3? It's just going to be multiple. We're going to do what we got to do that week to win that game. We're going to try to win that situation, whatever we have to do. And if it requires all 11 guys to be on their feet, all 11 guys will be on their feet. If it requires all 11 to be down in this three-point stance, it'll look weird, but we'll do it if that's what we think is going to win the game.
You talk about multiple running schemes, and everybody tries to run multiple schemes, but it's a lot more complicated when you're talking about building a roster.
Yep.
What is the key to building a roster to run a multiple set like that?
I believe it is IDing the traits that you hold valuable in terms of building a defense. So like kind of what we talked about earlier, some of the physical traits, we're looking for guys to be able to play with their hands, guys with good eye discipline, guys that play with a base and good leverage. So you take that, and now as you start to spread out into the different positions, who can cut, because whether you're talking about somebody that's covering, someone that's taking on the lead block, or somebody taking on somebody at the point of attack, all three of those things come into play. So that's what we're looking for. Guys that can do that, and then you get some of the measurables and things of that nature. But that's really what you're looking for. Those guys that play with good football position, and breaking it down into those subcategories helps lead to being able to be a multiple front scheme team.
If you have a 3-4 scheme, you're looking for bigger core players that can kind of hold the point. But then a 4-3 requires smaller, a little bit more athletic.
I'm not disrespecting what you're saying, but like I don't necessarily agree with that per se. Like 3-4-4-3 to me, people, sorry, 3-4-3 is how the spacing is on the field. So like whether a 3-4 OLB is a defensive end, it's really the same spot. So to me, I don't necessarily get into that in terms of like how big this guy has to be. It's multiple, and how we deploy him, it could be different on any down and distance, any play, any call, any situation. So I would agree to disagree, if that makes sense on that one.
Okay. The other thing that would seem difficult about that beyond just building a roster is having a finite amount of time. Not only figuring out what you're trying to do as a defensive coordinator, but what everyone is trying to do. That seems like a pretty seismic task to try and figure out for every situation exactly the right defense, and have prepped it for only in the space of 9 months. Whereas all these guys come from the Patriots, they've built it over 17 years.
Yep.
How easy or difficult will it be to try and figure out all those things in the space of 6 months?
The beauty of this game and our job is very difficult. And it's very difficult, and it's usually in pressure-filled, packed moments that you have to make right decisions. But that's kind of why we got into it. That's why I love being in it. So is it hard? Absolutely. Absolutely it's hard. But that's why you put in all the work. That's why you started off as a graduate assistant, got bumped up to a position coach, came to the league, became a QC, grinded doing this and that, putting in the extra hours, the off season, the study, to be able to get you prepared to handle these moments and learn from the people you've learned from before, whether it's learning from Coach Flores, learning from other guys I've worked with. But it's not easy, this job. I'm not saying it's as hard as a single mom that has 5 kids to raise. I'm not saying that, but it's a hard profession, it's a hard job, and it's challenging, but I love to be challenged. And most of the guys, you talk to guys on the staff, they love to be challenged. So I embrace it. I embrace it, and I look forward to it, and we'll have it right, and we'll have it the way Coach Flores wants it, and hopefully it leads to winning some games.